so we need to talk about Rocco. And honestly, I don't even know where to start because my brain is still kind of fried from staring at the screen for the last 3 hours, trying to piece together whatever the heck is happening in Port Charles this week. But here we are. It's Friday, the 27th of February, 2026, and if you're like me, you're probably looking at your TV and wondering if the writers are just throwing darts at a board at this point. Maybe. Probably. Let's rewind a bit. Remember, back in December feels like a lifetime ago. Right when Elizabeth Corte and Chris Van Etten sat down with TV Insider and gave us that big, ominous 2026 preview, I went back and dug it up because I just knew, there was something in there we were missing. And there it was. Buried in the middle of all the hype about Maxie waking up, finally, thank God, and the usual Sunny drama, they dropped this little nugget. Rocco faces a stormy 2026, triggering a string of events that will result in the departure of one citizen of Port Charles, and dire consequences for others. A stormy 2026. That's what they called it. At the time, I think most of us just rolled our eyes and thought, okay, great, another Teen Rebellion storyline. Groundbreaking, but now that we're almost into March and we see exactly what's going down, that quote feels less like a teaser and more like a threat. Because let's be real, Rocco Falconeri is a mess right now. And I say that with love. I do. I've watched this kid grow up from a little embryo stolen by Britt, never forget the Britt era, even if we love her now, to this, whatever this is. But lately, the drinking at the beach party, the breaking into the PCU lab, it's like he's trying to speedrun every bad decision his parents ever made. And look, I get it. Lulu just woke up from a 4-year coma. Dante is stressed out of his mind. And the poor kid probably feels like he has to act out to get anyone to look at him. But this isn't just acting out anymore. This is dangerous. So here's the thing that's keeping me up at night. The spoilers are screaming that Rocco's gonna be the reason someone leaves town. Like a major character exit. And since we know, because the internet knows everything, that Steve Burton is taking a hiatus starting, well, basically now, it's hard not to connect the dots. Is Rocco going to get Jason Morgan killed? Or presumed dead again? Okay, maybe killed is too dramatic. We all know Jason never actually dies. He just falls off a bridge or a pier or a plane and then comes back 3 years later with a new leather jacket. But still, think about the setup. We've got Ross Cullum, who, by the way, might be the most annoying villain we've had in years. Just saying, running around town like he owns the place. He's the WSB director. Allegedly, he's partnered with Jens Sidwell, and he has made it very clear that he will use anyone to get what he wants. And what does he want? He wants Britt Westbourne to finish Faison's final project. And how is he motivating her? By threatening Rocco. It's sick, right? But it's also classic GH. Cullum knows that Rocco is Britt's weak spot. She carried him. She birthed him. In her own twisted way, she loves that kid as much as Lulu does. So if Cullum decides to snatch Rocco to force Britt's hand, who is going to go save him? It's not going to be Dante. I mean, it should be Dante. He's the cop. He's the dad. But let's be real, the writers love to give the big hero moments to Stone Cold. So, it's easy to picture, isn't it? Rocco does something stupid. Maybe he tries to play hero. Maybe he tries to confront Cullum himself because he's an angry teenager with zero impulse control and he gets himself captured. Jason finds out. Jason goes in guns blazing or silently because he's Jason, pushes Rocco out the back door to safety, and then boom. The building explodes, or the tunnel collapses, or whatever convenient disaster the budget allows for this month. And just like that, Steve Burton gets to go on his break, Jason is missing, and Rocco is left with a lifetime of guilt. Dire consequences indeed. But wait, there's another angle here, and honestly this one makes me even madder. We have to talk about Valentin. Valentin Cassadine is currently hiding in Carly's attic. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. The most dangerous Cassadine is hiding in Carly Spencer's attic. It's so absurd, I almost love it. It's giving me flashbacks to the 90s in the best, worst way. But here's the problem Rocco knows. Rocco knows, Danny knows, and Charlotte obviously knows. And this is where the stormy part comes in. We've been watching this little teen triangle, is it a triangle? More like a wobbly line, between Rocco, Danny, and Charlotte. Charlotte is head over heels for Danny. She defended him to Valentin. She looked her father in the eye and said, "You can trust Danny Papa." Oh, sweet naive Charlotte. Have you met a soap opera writer before? Because that is the kiss of death. The second she said that, I knew Danny was going to get screwed over. And here's how I think it happens. Rocco is the leak. Rocco is the one who is spiraling. Rocco is the one being targeted by Ross Cullum. Maybe Cullum corners Rocco and scares the truth out of him. Maybe Rocco gets drunk again. Please, no more teen drinking PSAs, I beg you, and let something slip to the wrong person like Jack Brennan. So the info gets out. The WSB, or Sidwell's goons, raid Carly's house. Valentin has to flee town. There's your departure. And who gets the blame? Danny. Charlotte is going to look at Danny and think, I trusted you and you ratted him out. She won't suspect Rocco because Rocco is her cousin, her friend, the victim in all this. And Danny, being the stoic little Jason in training that he is, probably won't even defend himself. He'll just take the heat to protect Rocco. God, it makes me tired just typing it. Can't these kids just go to a movie? Do they always have to be involved in international espionage? And speaking of tired, let's talk about Britt for a second. Kelly Tebow is acting her face off as usual. But does anyone else feel like the show is just punishing her for existing? She came back from the dead, which yay. Reunited with Jason double yay. And now she's being blackmailed by a guy in a suit who looks like he should be managing a hedge fund, not running a spy agency. If Jason does die or disappear to save Rocco, it's going to destroy Britt. Again. She lost him once when he died on Cassadine Island. She lost him again when he married Carly. Don't get me started. She lost him when he left town last time. If he leaves again just as they're getting back on track, she might actually snap. And not in the fun Britch way, but in the sad I'm going to burn this hospital down way. But maybe I'm being too negative. Maybe the departure isn't Jason. Maybe it's, I don't know, Ross Cullum. Who am I kidding? The villain never leaves until they've dragged the storyline out for 6 more months. Let's go back to the Rocco of it all. The preview said his stormy year triggers dire consequences for others. That plural others is doing a lot of heavy lifting. If Rocco is the catalyst for Jason leaving and Valentin running, that's a lot of guilt for one kid to carry. I wonder if the writers are setting up a darker path for Rocco. We've seen him be the sweet kid for so long, but he's a Falconary and a Spencer. He's got Dante's brooding and Lulu's, well, impulsive streak. Plus, he was carried by Britt. There's a lot of chaotic DNA swirling around in there, metaphorically speaking for the Britt part. If he causes Jason's death, does he spiral further? Does he end up in Steinmauer like Cullum, threatened? Or does he lean into it? Does he become the next generation's bad boy? Honestly, I'd kind of respect it. The show needs a new troublemaker who isn't just a mob prince. Give me Rocco Falconary, the kid who broke the town because he couldn't keep a secret. But let's zoom out for a second. What does this mean for the show right now? It feels like we're in a transition period. The writers are clearing the deck. Jason is leaving temporarily, we hope. Valentin is on the run. The teens are aging up into real storylines. It feels messy, yes. Clunky, absolutely. I mean, some of the dialogue this week was a choice. Did anyone else cringe when Cullum called himself the adult in the room? Sir, you are threatening a teenager. You are not the adult. You are a cartoon villain without the mustache. But despite the mess, I'm kinda hooked. I want to see how the Charlotte, Danny, Rocco dynamic explodes. I want to see if Britt can outsmart Cullum. And, yeah, I want to see how they write Jason out this time. Will it be a blaze of glory, a quiet exit, a plane crash? Please, not another plane crash. The WSB budget for planes must be astronomical. If I had to bet money, and I don't, because I spent it all on streaming services to watch this show, I'd say the Rocco triggers a departure spoiler is a 2-for-1. Scenario A. Rocco leaks Valentin's location. Valentin leaves. Charlotte dumps Danny. Scenario B. Rocco gets caught by Cullum. Jason trades himself for Rocco. Jason leaves. Why not both? It sweeps or close enough to it. Let's blow it all up. I just hope that when the dust settles, someone remembers to check on Lulu. She just woke up. She missed the last 4 years of trauma. She doesn't need a fresh batch delivered to her doorstep the second she gets her walking boots back on. But knowing the show, that's exactly what she's going to get. So yeah, Rocco Falconeri. The most dangerous person in Port Charles right now isn't the mob boss or the spy. It's the teenage boy with a guilty conscience and a target on his back. What do you guys think? Are you Team Rocco is a victim or Team Rocco needs a timeout? And who do you think is actually leaving? If it's Jason, are we prepared for the months of moping that will follow? If it's Valentin who is going to whisper menacingly at people in French, let me know in the comments. I'm gonna go refill my coffee and pretend I'm not emotionally invested in fictional characters. Spoiler, I am. Until next time, or until the next explosion, whatever comes first.